Hello, friend. Almost 7 years ago, I took some of the most important decisions of my life, some decisions that completely changed my life. And I'm so grateful that young Marco did that. But the truth is that this life I'm living today and I'm extremely grateful for wasn't planned, or I couldn't see it, but it was always there for me. Ever since I picked up a guitar at age 14, in fact, I knew that music was going to be a big part of my life. But the meaning of this sentence changed drastically throughout my life and my career. So if you are a creative person, a musician, a painter, an artist, a writer, a poet, you name it, or if you are willing to jump on a creative path, I'm really hoping that this video could help you find some comfort and help you even just, navigating the thoughts that we all have, because I know you have these thoughts, I have them too, and I had them throughout my whole creative life. My name is Marco. I am a musician and a researcher in music technology and music improvisation. And if somebody had told me this 10 years ago, I'm not sure I would have believed it. Not because I was lacking the confidence in my skills, but even just simply because I didn't know that such a path ever existed. So today I want to focus on a brief excerpt of my creative life and share some thoughts, share some lessons that I learned from it, and hoping that you can find them useful and comforting. And honestly, I'm kind of shooting this video pretty much as if I were talking to my 20-year-old self in a sort of video journal, because I'm sure that young Marco would have needed to hear certain things, and I'm hoping that this could be useful for you. So the year is 2019. Just before pandemic hit, I was living in Italy. I'm an Italian musician, an Italian person, and I was mostly working as a touring musician and as a music teacher. I was teaching a lot of guitar and music harmony lessons, and I was playing like around 100 concerts per year, so quite a big number. But in that very year, at the end of 2019, I took some drastic decisions. I decided to stop all my bands, so that was quite big because it was the biggest source of income I had at the time. I decided to move to a new apartment, end my 9-year-old relationship, move to a new studio, start everything over. And why did I make these decisions? It's because I felt that I needed something more from my creative life. I was feeling kind of trapped, I was living my dream of being a musician, but the truth is that I was kind of considering it as a sort of 9-to-5 job. I was not really inspired by the life I was living. And that's a big topic I want to talk about in this video. Living a creative life, it's not only related to your job, it's related to who you are. 100% in every aspect of your life, in every tiny ritual that you do, in the things you learn, in the things you do, in everything. As I grew up and started my learning phase, going through university and music conservatory, I always felt like a sort of musical chameleon. I started playing guitar and I took a bachelor in the conservatory in jazz guitar, but then I got a master in electronic music and I specialized in film scoring and orchestration, and I wanted to understand how a music studio works. So I learned how to produce, mix, master. At the same time, before all of this, I took a degree in software engineering, because the truth is that when I graduated high school, I wasn't brave enough at first to pursue a music career 100%. This happened also only a few years later. And all of this was kind of weird at the time. I felt frustrated. I felt all over the place. I felt I didn't have a fixed path, a linear trajectory. And I felt like a lot of my colleagues did, a lot of my peers, a lot of my fellow students, they woke up in the morning, you play guitar, and of course you want to play guitar all your life. And I wasn't feeling like that, you know? And I felt also a bit wrong sometimes. I felt I wasn't in the right place. And then 2019 happens, and I take all these decisions, mainly because I wanted to start over a creative life. And what happened is that from this moment on, everything literally changed. So I was I'm really grateful that this happened before COVID and through COVID, that I was able to change my life. Because if I picture myself in COVID pandemic without these changes, I honestly don't know what I would have ended up being, you know, who I would have ended up being. This moment in life changed everything. I decided to jump on my creative path 100%. I, I took the leap. I met the most incredible girl ever, which I'm about to marry in a few months, and together we decided to move abroad. We quit Italy for Denmark. And this is another important chapter of my story, because we lived in Denmark for 1 whole year. And during this year, I literally had no musical project. There were weeks where I didn't even touch the strings of my guitar. You know, there were very important things to do. It was the first time living abroad. It was the first time living together with my girlfriend. We were in a country where we didn't speak the language. And I was also enrolled in a master in a university in sound and music computing, because I decided that somehow I wanted to find a way of, you know, a motivation for being there, for changing everything. And actually, I was, by chance or not, I enrolled into a program that was exactly suited for the curriculum I had, because I had the software engineering studies, I had the musical studies, and so I ended up doing this master, which was basically a sort of software engineering applied to music technology, music creation. But it was a harsh year. It was a year where I felt I didn't belong to that place. It doesn't matter how much I liked the city of Copenhagen, I couldn't feel home. And I also had to survive, so I had a part-time job in an Italian restaurant as a waiter for 1 year. And as I said before, almost never played my guitar for that whole year. And then something else happened. Through my master program, I had the chance to get an internship to come to Paris at IRCAM, at this very place I'm in. And IRCAM is the most important institute in the world for music research, music technology. A lot of incredible historical things happened in these very studios, which are in the heart, in the center of Paris, underground square, close to the Pompidou Center. And of course, I always knew about IRCAM, but I didn't know how to get there. I wasn't sure that I even had what it takes to be a researcher and a musician here in IRCAM. And the truth is that that internship was supposed to last for months. And here I am, 4 years later, almost finishing my PhD in music improvisation and co-creative systems, and working with some of the most incredible people ever. I'm working with musicians that I always admired, and now I'm lucky enough to call them colleagues and even friends. And all this didn't happen just, you know, in one day, and it didn't happen as I was actually 100% conscious about it. It kind of felt like a sort of dream to come here, and then understanding throughout the months and the years as time passed that I was meant to be here. I belonged here. I had what it takes to stay here. And I couldn't see it. And that's why this whole story is important to me, because the lessons I learned and I'm about to share with you are lessons that hopefully would make somebody else's choices more easy, you know. And if I had somebody who told me what I'm about to tell you, I'm sure that I would have been at least a bit more comforted in my path. And the truth is that even just sharing this journey is important. I feel it's important for the community, for the creative people, because truth is, a creative life is not a straight line. It's not a path, a fixed path. Sometimes we don't know what happens next. I'm sure if you are in the same position as me, if you're a creative person, you are maybe scared, even right now in this very moment, about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next month, next year. Are you on the right path? Are you doing the good? Are you making the good decisions? Are you meeting the right people? Are you in the right place? Are you even good enough, talented enough to do what you want to do? All these are questions that we ask ourselves every time. And the truth is that you have everything that it takes. You just have to acknowledge who you are, embrace who you are, and take some confident steps towards your future. So here's the 3 big lessons that I learned from my story and that I hope might be useful for you. The first lesson is you always have to trust the process. You always have to put your creative being first and hone your skills, develop the skills you like in that very moment. Be open, be curious. Don't be afraid of being all around the place and not having a fixed path, because the truth is that nobody's path is perfect. It's just your path, it's your story, it's your decisions. And it doesn't matter how long it will take, you will figure out things sooner or later. And honestly, there's no goal in this creative life. There's no big point you need to reach. There's no step you need to take to become a successful creative person. You are a successful creative person as long as you believe it. And beliefs are way more important than facts sometimes. You know, you can actually trick your brain to believe you're a successful artist, you're a successful person, and this thing will happen. And I'm not talking about just, mere manifestation. I'm really talking about believing in yourself, trusting the process. Don't overthink what you're doing, because nobody knows what they are doing while they are doing it. And this leads us to the second lesson, because sometimes we might feel lost because we don't know which path we could take. And the truth is, there's so many things out there, especially nowadays, that you can't know them all. You can't know all the paths you would like to take and you could even take. And that's why lesson number 2 is super important. And this lesson is find and surround yourself with people who inspires you. This is extremely important. The biggest decisions in my life, from moving abroad to Denmark, or even just picking up a guitar and going all in my music career, happened because I had people close to me. It was my girlfriend, it was my best friend, it was people who I admired, it was mentors, people who just showed me that a different angle was possible, that a different path was possible, that something different existed, and something I could really try, and something I could learn, something new. And sometimes it doesn't have to be as clear as this. These people might not exactly show you the thing you're about to do. It might just be their energy, their different personality. Because the truth is that if you are like me, you're a creative person that judges you a lot. A lot of the times, we are in our thoughts, we are overthinking the process, the decisions, and what we are making. And sometimes we just need some fresh air. Sometimes we just need somebody else who says, look, it's fine, do this thing. Have you ever checked this thing out? Look how cool this is. Or even without saying anything, just surrounding yourself with these people with this inspiring energy. And this leads us to lesson number 3, which is also related to people, but it's mostly related to experiences. And lesson number 3 is really chase experiences, get out of your comfort zone. You could say it in all the ways you want, but what I can tell you is that ever since I started making music and becoming a creative person, I learned a lot, but I didn't learn as much as when I moved out of my place. I moved out of Italy, I started living abroad. I lived in Copenhagen, I now live in Paris. And not only I saw different places, I met different people, different cultures, different ways of being. And all of this matters because, as I was saying before, living a creative life is not just your job. It's not just what you do for a living. It's actually your whole life. It's the little rituals you have in your daily life. It's the way you want to live and you want to feel ever since you get out of bed until you get back to bed at night. It's the way you behave. It's the interactions you have, the relationships you have. And all of this isn't possible without new angles and new perspectives. There's a quote I really like by Lemon Snicket that I always refer to in these cases, which says, "Do the scary things first and get scared later." And it's true, because sometimes we are just paralyzed by the fear of, taking the leap. And it doesn't have to be as big as moving to a different country or to a different continent. If I'm thinking about the decisions I made in 2019, even moving to a different apartment was something extremely hard for me because I was overthinking the process. I was thinking about money, relationships, all the consequences that this choice would have. And I literally ended up living into an apartment that was 1 block away from my previous one. And this new apartment was the nest, the place, the temple of my rebirth, of my creative rebirth. I'm so grateful to Marco, to young Marco, to 2019 Marco, to, taking the leap, taking this small decision that was actually huge for him. And this can be true for you as well. So if you stayed up to this point, I'm really thankful. I am really grateful for you, for watching, for your trust. And I hope that this video could give you something, at least the tiniest possible glimpse of comfort, of hope. And if I was able to teach you something, to transmit something to you, I feel like, the motivation for this video is fulfilled. But the truth is that this video is really important for me also for another reason. It's of course very important because, as I was mentioning, it's like a sort of journal entry, video journal entry to past 20-year-old self. And it's also, I believe, a pretty honest and vulnerable sharing moment of my story, but there's a second reason, and the reason is that this is a sort of comeback for me on YouTube. If you were already following me, you might know me because many years ago I posted a few videos on a quite exoteric music concept that's called negative harmony that got me quite some views. And at the time I also experimented a bit with another channel, with a friend, shooting videos in studio, and I always liked producing videos. Even now in IRCAM, I shoot a lot of video tutorials of the software we develop. We shoot videos of, workshops, demos in studio, performances and such. And I felt, insecure I felt unsure for a lot of years about how to tackle this thing of, being a creative person, being a musician, having my life and my career, and having an online presence. And I have a little answer for now, and that's why I wanted to shoot this video, to come back, to start over, because actually I'm willing to shoot more consistently for YouTube, not just, once every 4 or 8 years. So I'm pretty much looking forward to what's going to happen. And the truth is that I decided to shoot this video just because 2026 is going to be another big year of changes for me. If I look back at my trajectory and my whole life, 2019 was really important, as I mentioned, and 2026 is going to be probably even more important because there's a lot of big things happening this year, bold decisions, bold changes, drastic changes that I don't know where they're going to lead. That's why I wanted to talk about this very topic in this video, of taking the leap and trust the process and everything I said. because I'm about to live it again in an even more amplified way. And I wanted to start documenting this process and sharing this with you. So I'm really looking forward to it. I have a lot of ideas coming up. I'm really excited about this and about, I don't know how this will look like on YouTube, but I'm super excited about it. And I just know that there's gonna be a lot of cool things going on this year, and I want to share them with you on this channel. So if you would like to follow along, support my journey, you could subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. And thank you again.